Baby, they got me confused. they, they got me confused if you think I'm ever sending you some money for me to get back on the panel. But if Rose wouldn't have got involved, then this right here wouldn't have been happening. Okay? So we're gonna have to do a review, baby. We're gonna have to do a review. And I guess we're gonna have to prove who the dummies are. But you know the one thing about Rose, she's a pick me. And nobody gonna pick her in real life. They be sitting on the panels calling her all kinds of names without calling her the actual names. You know what I'm saying? They they calling her a gold digger, telling her she ain't gonna get the type of man she looking for. But what I will tell you though, what I didn't do, although yesterday I was about to. There was a sister up there on that panel, nice as can be. And I said, hey, you the one they over here talking about when you're not here. And I thought that maybe she was. I thought she was going to say, yeah, I was here in the chat. But when she said, who? I got quiet. I got tight-lipped. And I said, I ain't nothing. But it was actually Rose, girl. Listen, your virginity has Rose spinning. And she saying, you, right? She's saying that you and your virginity, right? She said that she uses it against them men all the time. Because she says, well, what about, I don't want to mention the young lady's name because she's really nice, right? They're like, what about her? She's a virgin and she's this and she's that. And why y'all don't want her? Why y'all don't want her? Why y'all don't want her? And she's egging the men on to say things like, well, you're not attractive enough, or maybe you're too this or you too that. And listen, that's the type of chick Rose is, baby. But we're gonna have some fun for the rest of this night. Um, JT said, JT said, oh, and Trey, I guess you're gonna get it too, because you asked me a question and I told you. Now we're gonna do a review, okay? Now, there's another sister who was up there, and I don't know why she kept getting involved. She's like, oh, Miss Baum, did you hear what you just said? And I'm like, what you mean did I hear what I just said? I heard exactly what I just said because I'm the one who said it. And I even told her, look, I'm starting to think that you must think I'm stupid too. Like I'm not understanding what's going on. And then so she was the one up there calling them men the B word. I was not. I let them do whatever they're doing. She was calling Nightish the B. She even mentioned Nightish getting on a whole nother man. Okay, she even mentioned that. And the and then she got louder and louder. And the only thing Trey was able to say is Nightish. If a woman told me that if she got loud like that, I just wouldn't argue with a woman, which is a lie. These niggas will lie, and that is their problem. They lie, they are delusional, right? They lie and they are delusional, and they do not like the truth. They spun all kinds of things. So yesterday, y'all, last night, because it really, what time is it? Yeah, it's yesterday for me because it's 1 o'clock here. Okay. Um. So what has happened was, um. So when I went over by Trey, that's where I go and hang out, right? Um. They was reviewing a stream with JP and JT. Angry Man was up there with a few people up there. Um, and when I walked in, that's what they was reviewing. And so I noticed that they was going at JP. They was like, you know, whoever want to come up here and explain JP. And so there was a woman up there. I can't think of her name. I'm so bad with the names, y'all. She was nice. And she was saying the very same thing that I have been saying for years. Basically the same thing. And that is, hey, for some reason, people tend to understand JP. They understand there is a connection with JP and millions of people. Okay. And millions of people. I know a lot of people don't like that. You don't like that. I don't know why, because it's his life. He doing his thing. It don't affect me negatively or positively. So I don't have a problem seeing it for what it is. What I have seen though, I've seen JP go viral by saying some things that most of us would not say. And yet though, we'll act like there aren't people living that type of life. When he went viral, I don't know about how many of y'all on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok, but I follow people who are on TikTok and they bring the TikTok information back here. And it make it easier for me because I can see a whole 30 people TikToks on one topic or more just by watching one video. I don't have to look at short after short after short. You know, I don't want to get lost in them shorts. Okay. So when somebody say, hey, this is what people talk about Section 8, and this is what people are saying. JP went viral with that. And there was a whole big, massive explosion of videos about people being on Section 8. And I'm talking about all colors and both races, right? No, no, no. Did I say that right? Sexes, I mean, sex. Look, I said racist. Um, both men and women, black, white, Asian, African, you know, and it was a big explosion of them. Big explosion. People was over there. His video went viral, and it didn't go unnoticed. That's what going viral means. Okay. Um, and that's because there's a lot of people who relate. There's a lot of people who either relate to it the way he relates to it, or they relate to it differently. Where the government, if we all listen to what he's saying it like he's proud of it, but there are a lot of people who are on Section 8 and they can't afford to do better in their jobs because if they do, they lose they lose Section 8. Which, by the way, for some of us, depending on where you live, Section 8 is easily a few $1,000s a month. A month. If you're living in an area where rent is about $500 a month, then you might only be losing $500 a month. But if you live in a place where rent is anywhere from 2,000 and up, then that is massive. And we know this because in America, lots of people have been complaining about it. They say as soon as you get a better job, they are ready to chop you off at the knees. So people will make sure they don't make an amount over that will get them disqualified from Section 8. And that's what people relate to when it comes to JP and some of the things he said. But anyway, what she was saying was that, hey, she wasn't saying that she agreed with him because she wasn't saying that she lived her life that way. She was saying, hey, that's what he is saying. A lot of people relate to it. And so Trey was like, nah, whoever come up here, y'all come up here and side with this nigga. Nah, I didn't know they had a beef going back and forth because it ain't none of my business. I still don't know and I don't care. Ain't none of my business. But that's what he said. So I was like, well, I could go up there and explain it because I was going to hit the panel anyway, like I normally do. And so I go up there and I said, well, look, this is what JP is saying. JP saying he not going to run no rat race for the minimum for white people in this country. This is what he says, okay? This is what he says. He says, and he told them on that panel, he said, and y'all gonna take care of me and my kids. That's what he said. And he said that black men have no power. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Like for those of us who know JP, you know that we don't hear him normally say that. We don't normally hear him say black men don't have no power. That's usually something that somebody's using on him, where we as women are saying to the black men, right, that you don't have no power. In fact, we go back and forth with the discussions and things like that, right? So that was essentially my first time actually hearing him say that. So he uses that when he's talking to the men, though. When he's talking to the men, that those are the talking points he used. When he's talking to us women, he's not saying nothing like that. He's saying, hey, he want to have babies. We supposed to be having nothing but baby. That's what we here for. His talking point changes, right? But anyway, so I was like, yeah, this is what he's saying. I said a lot of people don't agree with it, but a lot of people do. They understand. Okay, that was the conversation. Then they was like, bomber. So that's what they were saying. And then they start going, because of course, I guess I'm pro JP, right? Which yes, I could be pro JP. I could be pro who the fuck I want to be. Pro. Okay. Anyway, long story short, it goes something like they say something and then I repeat it. I say, yeah, just like JP said. Black men ain't got no power. And then they was like, oh, we got power. We got power. So see, the conversation goes there. And I'm like, no, you don't have no power. And then some fool starts bringing up the treaty of the Gulligi. I'm like, the hell is he talking about? Why you think they went back on the treaty of Gulligi? But somebody come, hold up. I heard somebody was step. Hey, man. Oh, you coming to get you? What? You coming here? No. Oh, okay. Anyway, so this dude mentioned the treaty. Somebody said the Treaty of the Gulligi, right? And I was like, um, I think it was Angry Man who asked me that, because if I'm correct, he asked me, aren't I Creole? And I said, well, yeah, I'm both Creole and Cajun, right? And then he mentioned the Gullah Geechee. And now I don't know if they don't know that I know exactly what that is. Right. And now just think about this for a second, y'all, because I'm like, it's so obvious how I showed that they're ignorant and dumb. Now, mind you, I said that what does that have to do with the topic is what I asked. Because when he mentioned the Treaty of the Gullah Geechee, we talking way after slavery. And by the way, because I mentioned that, that they was like, yeah, black people, we got ourselves out of slavery. And I was like, we did not get ourselves out of slavery, right? That's where we were. I was like, we did not get ourselves out of slavery. They were like, yes, we did. Yes, we did. I was like, no, we didn't. And then so they then go and say the Treaty of the Gullah Geechee. Now they said why they wouldn't wouldn't go with the treaty. Now think about that. So he was trying to say that if that black people had power, and due to our power, we got ourselves out of slavery. He mentions Gullah Geechee Treaty, which happened thereafter, right? And and so, but even if they went back, so that's my point was, I was like, I said, this has nothing to do with our conversation, right? Because now I know that they don't know what they're talking about, which means I'm gonna be explaining the Gullah Geechee, the treaty, the president who did let us out. He didn't let us out because we were black, right? He didn't give a shit about that. But he did it for the power, right, of the United States as a whole, the North in the South. The South had the majority of the money and the wealth, right, due to slavery, right? And the North, they wanted to start us going through the Industrial Revolution, where we was getting away from this slavery thing, and we was going into machinery and things like that. So the country was taking a turn. And so that is why, in order to get the northern people to vote on his side, they was against slavery. And also mainly because the South had the upper hand. They had free labor. They had the land, the properties, the farms, and they had slaves doing all the work. See, so I can't I don't have no problem knowing about history. And I don't have to make it up. So I didn't want to go through all of that, right? I'm like, hey, what you're talking about has nothing to do. It had nothing to do with us getting out of slavery. So then he says, well, bomb cherry answered the question. I said, it has nothing to do with this. I said, but if you are saying we had all this power to get ourselves out of slavery, then why did they go back on the treaty? Why did we go through everything that we went through after, right? Because we were doing well for a little while. Then Jim Crow hit. If we had all this power, then Jim Crow wouldn't have hit us. But they absolutely took away the power that black men did have, because black men was able to vote. They took that away from you. Black men was in Congress and everything. They took that away from you. They took that away from you. Because after they released us as slaves, they did come in and follow through, right? They gave us areas where we could live. And we started building. We had most of the jobs because we was enslaved. So we did most of the labor in this country. So of course, now nobody's getting free labor, but now they got to pay for our labor. So yes, we on the uprise. And then they started passing laws that made us dip and go back on the decline. Now, it's crazy because, see, they told me that I didn't know about history. They told me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And then I told them, no, they don't know what they're talking about. And today, they only remember that I told them that they don't know what they're talking about. That's all they remember. And that nigga JT with his motherfucking ugly ass, that nigga should turn off his cam and shut the whole F up. Okay? The ridiculousness of these people. And then the pick me over there who can't get picked to save her life. That little girl is jealous of all the women. And listen, ladies, you gotta be careful around her. Don't listen. Don't think that she's giving you compliments when you think those sideways compliments that she gives is yeah. Look, um, yeah, you gotta be careful. Because the lady who's a virgin over there, girl, she was talking about you. It was crazy because I was looking for you on the panel. I was like, and I even asked them, like, um, why y'all talking about her virginity? Well, Bob Cherry, the men, well, they say she's the perfect woman. Why won't they take her? They say they want virgins and she's a virgin. They say they want this and she's this, and yet they don't want her. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you referencing another woman in her virginity? She's nowhere around. It's none of your business. And I can just show you she's jealous of your virginity. And every chance it's something about you she's jealous of, and she keeps mentioning you even when you're not there. But I didn't want to be too messy yesterday. I said, let me just, because I did ask. I was like, "Oh, you the one they was talking about when you wasn't here." Yeah, that's crazy, ladies. And I'm talking to all of you over there. Listen, um, y'all gotta pick me amongst you, baby. And she thinks she gonna get something. The men telling her she don't deserve it, so they basically telling her that she that she thinks she deserve it. They in her face telling her they downing her. I'm calling her stupid like I called her before. And the idea that she want to spend money to knock me down. Now, of course, I could have paid money to come back, but why would I have my own channel, honey? Like, are you serious, baby? Are you serious? You listen. You might pay to go back. Okay, you might pay to go back, but I ain't paying to go back. Okay. And I thought about it only for a hot second. I was like, I could play the game. I, but I saw how Trey played the game with somebody with their money yesterday. And I was like, well, I don't know. Because see, I'm not gonna pay to get me back. I was gonna pay to knock them down and make them pay to get themselves back up there. But yesterday a guy paid to knock somebody else down, and Trey told him that his money can't go for what he wanted it to go for. He says, since your time didn't run out, you paid to come back. That man was like, no, I wanted to knock him off. Trey said, no, you should have took your whole time. So Trey, um, like I get listen, everybody making up their own shit. We know you got some fraudulent people on this motherfucker, right? So when I see that I don't know the rules and they switch them up as they want to go, yeah, I'm not playing with them. Because when it comes to money, baby, I ain't playing with nobody in my motherfucking money. Okay. Um, but why would I? JT got smacked around by JP, and he mad. And then I'm watching a group of men get mad that another man treated them like men because they want to be treated like girls. And then the thing is, though, Miss Kim, right? I'm Miss Kim was up there calling a man a B. She kept doing it. She was speaking over him, everything. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't get involved. I didn't say nothing. Nothing. She was handling her business however she want to handle it. And then as soon as I'm talking, she jumps in. Now, see, I don't know what's going on with her, but we're gonna have to have a conversation because I'm like, you grown, I'm growner. I'm growner though, right? You grown. I handle you like you grown, and I'm just not understanding why you just won't stay out of my way. Cause I ain't scared of none of them motherfucking niggas. Not none of them, especially the JT motherfucker. And I definitely, there's nobody over there, not the angry man or nobody. They know what it is. And when we can have a good conversation, then we can have a good conversation. And when they want to be babies, then I guess I'll treat them like the little babies that they are. And I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And then but fucking women get in my fucking way to pick me. But, I understand that, listen, I and the rest of us women, we know women, right? We know either we know ourselves, we know other women. I know women, baby. I know the hoes in disguise. The ones who gotta they revamp themselves when it comes to the internet, but in reality though, because I'm wondering if you got it like that, then why you ain't got it? like that. How easy is it for a woman, right, who claims that she's all that, right, real pretty and all that shit and things like that? How is it that she ain't got a man? I'm not talking about the one that slide through just so he can slide in and out while she's judging other women. It's what got me. Okay. Um, but she's sitting amongst the right type of dudes. Some of them anyway. Some of them are, you know, well, none of them, none of them. Okay. Um, but I they dog her out. Okay, and she ain't got nothing to do but deal with it, cry about it, go away for a second, and then just so she can come back and run back. And then she gotta prove herself. She gotta prove herself to a bunch of men who don't even fuck with her on the real. And as soon as she do something and get out and step out of place, anything that she shared with him will be known to the world, baby. But we talking about a slow hoe, okay? A slow hoe. That's all. There ain't too much I got to say about it that I haven't said about it already. The whole pick me. But Miss Kim, though, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to have a conversation with her because, like, she grown, right? I treat her like she grown. When she was doing what she was doing, I ain't say shit, nothing. She was calling Nightish a bitch. And I mean, and then she said she was spending the money to knock him down. I ain't say shit, none of my business. And then she said, well, no, I'm going to just make sure you don't talk. And she was up there doing all that screaming. And I don't know, but I was silent. I was in my kitchen getting the dishes out of my dishwasher so I could put new dishes in it. I was over here shaking my wine, baby. I'm doing what I'm doing. And then those men. So I get after that, she finished with that. I then bring up the conversation that they brought up earlier, only to prove them wrong. Let me go see if I can grab that stream. Because they then told me I did say something that I didn't say. Now, when I say men over here, I just the men who are over there. It doesn't mean that they do it over there, but they do it over there. Shitting on fucking women. And so I guess we gonna act like that's not what they're doing, because they done shitted on Rose many motherfucking times. I'm watching them shit on women over there. Them motherfuckers delusional than motherfuckers. And they gonna act like that ain't what they doing over there. Well, Bomb, who doing that? And the thing is that Trey said that you could tell he was kind of nodding out, tired and shit. But he just puts his head up and say, well, I was nodding out, but I'm up now. And Bomb Chair, when did this? So he coming and asking a question that had nothing to do essentially what we talking about. So I don't know what he was asking me. I was like, what? you know, I'm like, what are you talking about? We got crybabies, right? If I say the dumb niggas up here, but everybody up there don't think of themselves as the N word, then I guess I'm not talking to them. And you know what? That's the crazy thing, because on that panel, majority of them men have said that they don't consider themselves the N word. I've heard Trey say he don't consider himself the N word. He says he's a man. Um, Nightish, I wasn't thinking about Nightish. Nightish don't consider himself the N word, and I never considered him the N word. Nightish been over here, and I've been over there with him. I've even gone back and forth with Nightish, and I ain't never called him the B word, and I definitely didn't call him the N word, right? I definitely not a dumb one. because Nigel should be knowing his shit. Okay, especially if we talk about history. Shit. And the Pete Smurf dude, I don't even know him like that, but he is the one who brought up some shit that had nothing to do with the slavery. These black men is delusional. And so you know what he said today? He said, well, I was trying to push forward. Because he said, well, you wanted to keep it on JP, and I was trying to keep it on topic. I said, dude, JP was the topic. They was reviewing the video JP versus JT. That was actually the fucking topic. In fact, let's go grab that shit real quick. Cause I'm telling you, baby, these lying ass niggas will lie. They will lie, baby, lie. Um, let's see. He, wait a minute, let me grab it real quick. Video, no, lives. I'm sorry, lives. Okay, we're gonna share the screen really quickly. Because it's almost like they don't know. Wait, I don't think I shared the sound. Hold up. I gotta stop that. I'm gonna do that again. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm not sure if y'all see that, but yesterday, 19 hours ago, JT versus JP was the goddamn title. And it is also the motherfucking thumbnail. It's also the thumbnail. You see? JT versus JP. Now let's go to it. Let's see. There go Angry Man. Angry Man was there by the time I got there. So we're gonna go to about the time. So there I am. Miss Summer, that's who it was. Summer was up there. We're gonna hear before I get up there. We're gonna hear what Trey says. Because Trey is telling people to come up.
We did get on somewhat of one accord. To watch it back, you cut me off 1,000 times. Yeah, because he does have something.
Shit because he's not winning. That's his whole objective, bro. To turn the shit to talk about himself, man. So going back and forth with that nigga, I got to question the other niggas. Because you know that nigga's mentally slow. Like, you don't go back and forth with a retarded nigga. We know that. We all know in the hood that the slow nigga with the helmet, he throw rocks at us. I remember one of those used to live by the house, used to throw rocks at us. I'm like, man, he's slow, man. Leave that nigga alone, man. Don't whoop his ass. He was like Jim Prince. He's like the mascot.
Yeah, he wants
He's like the
somebody to
mascot of
play
the
with,
neighborhood.
Blanca.
See that Pete Smurf dude, right? I have no problem with him. I don't know him. But that nigga today said that due to Trey, he said today that Trey has taught him that he need to learn how to read and write or some shit. Now I'm exaggerating with the read and write. I ain't lying. This man said that he's learning from Trey. This nigga is straight gray. This nigga got more grade than I got in any part of my like. I'm older than him. I have no grade. I'm waiting for every time I think I see a piece of grade, I get excited. I get excited, and I just can't hide it. But them grades are hiding from me, baby, because they not there. And but I'm just saying that this man today, who obviously looked way older than Trey, but I could be wrong because sometimes the genetics, you know what I'm saying? And black people can be a little tricky. But this nigga just said that Trey is the reason why he wants to better himself. I'm like, nigga, where your daddy? Where he was at? Even if he had no daddy, where the uncles? Where the dad at? Where the dad? Where the dad at? Where he at? Where the dad at? Where he 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 at? Where the dad at? Where the dad? Where your dad at? Where your dad? I don't know where the dad, where he at? Where the dad, where he at? Where he at? This nigga done found the dad and Trey, baby. We gonna talk about that later, though. Let's get it. Let's go.
He wants somebody to play with him because he over there eating his boogers.
And this is what people have to say.
I don't think he's.
It's not even. Hold on. Let me kill that whole argument. Something. It's not even about him.
What argument?
It's not even about him being slow.
Right.
I'm not even saying that he's slow. My thing it is just like somebody in the comments said. He
just has a different. Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a different perspective. His perspective is dumb as hell.
No, I think it resonates with a lot of people.
Okay.
Now y'all heard what someone say? He said his perspective, he don't have a different perspective, which that is exactly what he has. A different perspective on life. He living his life different than other people for whatever reason. It's his life, right? So that's exactly what he has. But he says no, and it's dumb as fuck. So he says no, but that's exactly what he has. So they're gonna gaslight Summer crazy. It's gonna be crazy because she just said, yeah, he just have a different perspective, and a lot of people resonate with it. We're gonna hear her say that again, and he's not gonna like that because they don't like when somebody disagree with them, even if we do it on like nicely. I don't know what look. They don't like being disagreed with.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a different perspective. His perspective is dumb as hell.
No, I think it resonates with a lot of people.
Okay, so no, hold on. So, what resonates with a lot of people? So let's talk about it. Since you,
I just the simple. I'm not defending you guys. The way that I look at things is I see other people's perspectives, right? Because there's obviously an audience. There's obviously an audience of people, and a.
So I just came in the room, and the reason you'll see where I left a comment, right? I left a comment. Can I get to it now? Let me see. No, I don't know why I can't get to it. Oh, there's a video, but I should be able to. No. Anyway, what it says down there, let me.
If you're anywhere here in Delaware or Maryland, get rid of your ugly window system today and replace it for just $83 a month with a.
It resonates with a lot of people.
Okay, so no, hold on. So, what resonates?
So what I said was that JT dude was wrong by mentioning that he had strange white people pay his bill. Now JP came up here after that because we was reviewing the video, and I asked him, JP, like, why you went over there by them white people? Did y'all know that JP didn't really know them people? He said they were the only ones live. JP went into somebody's stream who was live and got on their panel and they paid his bail. And so I think, look, there are a lot of people that has a problem with JP. I'd be wondering why. Because it ain't like he's not living my life. You know what I mean? He's not living my life. I do not be affected negatively or positively with how he lives his life. But some people just really don't like him. Kind of jealous of him. Some people, they got a whole big group of people on his bitch who jealous of JP. Right? And these men, it's a lot of these men. And why? I don't know why. Like when I think about it, I think they see that he goes get on a panel with some strangers and shows that the police are behind him. Did y'all see that? He didn't even know the people. He got up there, and then he made it about him, right? He went up there and said, "Hey, the cops behind me." He showed them, and they all got excited. They was talking, and bam, boom, and wham, bam, or whatever he be saying, right? He started saying, "Hey, y'all, the bail is not that much." He told him how much he need. He said, "I got this, but I'm short." And he asked the owner of that goddamn channel, he asked him to send it. He just said, "Hey, I'm short this. Can you send it?" And they sent him the money. And then he was short again. And then that guy got up and seemed like he went and asked his wife, can he send it to him? He didn't even know JP. They just got people in this world who, I don't know, like they better than me because I have a problem with asking people for things. But he was able to go up there. They talked about it. And then I guess the man said it was worth it, right? Because he probably gonna get more viewership. I thought I would be able to review it again or something. Because it was just and then somebody told me that he had just taken it down. Now I'm not sure if that's true or not. If they did, I didn't go looking because I don't be caring like that. But JP went on a stranger's channel and was able to get his bail money to get out of jail from them. And none of them, if I'm correct, was there another black man up there? There was white men. There may have been one black man up there who was up there as well, but all them was white men. We don't even know what sector that was in. JP said he hurry up and went live. Nobody was live that he knew, and so he went into them people's channel, and he got that motherfucking money. He got that motherfucking money, and the men that JT he jealous about that. Jealous about that. Okay. And that's like a talent. If you ask me or anything, that's a talent. That's a talent. We watch JP go in churches and ask them people, and he starts questioning God to the ministers and everything. And then they give him what he needs. It's something about it. Okay, but here we go.
With a lot of people, so let's talk about it. Since you
I just the simple. I'm not just you guys. The way that I look at things is I see other people's perspectives, right? Because there's obviously an audience. There's obviously an audience of people and a group of people that agree with what he's saying. Now, my thing is he may not be eloquent in what he's saying, or it's the way that he's saying it that may come across a certain way.
What does he say? No.
Don't.
Your monologue.
What I'm saying, his overall.
What do you say?
I'm getting there. I'm a little slow. It's 10 o'clock.
Well,
my medicine kicking in.
You like to wiggle around the goddamn roses.
No, but what I have to preference.
I'm gonna get straight to the goddamn point.
Got it. I have to preference it with that because what he's saying about us not having any power. No, I mean.
Now you see how. So we're gonna watch how he gaslight. Watch how this conversation rolls, because the woman says, "Hey, I'm the type to just look at other people's perspective," and that's how I am, right? I see a situation, it doesn't affect me good or bad, and therefore I have the courtesy, I have the ability, right, to sit and try to see it from other people's perspective. Why? Because it doesn't affect me either way. And so I find it to be fascinating to see how other people see things. Other people are not willing to do that, and that's okay. And I'm not saying that you should do that. I'll do it when I fucking want to, though. Right? I'll do it when I want to. I'll talk to who I want to, how I want to talk to them. That's what I'm gonna do. And y'all can do you, and I'm gonna do me. That's what I don't understand. You know, people want me to do things the way they want me to do them. And what I could say to that is, I don't give a damn. You can keep that to yourself. Because you telling me ain't gonna make me do it the way you want me to do it. You can just keep that to yourself. And then maybe I won't be cussing your ass out. The thing that you can tell me how I should see things. We're gonna see things differently. Okay? We're gonna see things differently. Everybody living their life the way they want to live it. And hopefully you're doing it to your best of your ability and it's helping you. And some people are. And the thing is that tripped me out is when some of us have we think differently. But sometimes we be the worst ones to judge. You know what I'm saying? A whole crackhead. You're a whole motherfucking crackhead and shit. And you got the nerve to want to tell other people how they should and shouldn't be living. I'll be thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Y'all, I'm exaggerating. I ain't nobody in my mind. I'm not calling nobody a crackhead, okay? I just said that, y'all. Okay, here we go.
His viewpoints on us not really truly having any true power, right? Us having as overall as a people.
Power. Let's build. Him talking about us not having no power. What is he doing about it?
The dog-friendly Co harness was made for big, strong pullers. Here's why. Harness researchers at Dog Friendly Co have been.
Now, you see what his question was? Him talking about, so what is he doing about it? He ain't doing shit. In fact, he said, I ain't got no power and I ain't gonna do what these white people want me to do. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, that's what he's saying.
You can even spell power.
No. Hold on. I don't need no help, fellas, respectfully. If he not doing nothing, he need to be quiet about that then.
But what I'm saying, everybody is lent a voice to say their opinion, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing anything about it, is what I'm saying.
You're going that route is a mute point. I don't care what you say.
I get you. He not doing nothing about it. But what he's saying,
so shut up about it then. If you're not, listen, you can't speak on you can't speak on no you're not doing, respectfully.
Look, if you ain't doing it, you can't speak on it while they sit on their ass doing hardly anything. Okay? Now I'm not saying that Trey sits on his ass and do nothing. I don't know or not, right? But what I am saying is that a lot of motherfuckers on this area, they sitting on their ass and they ain't doing nothing about power. Getting power, achieving power. They're not thinking about none of that. So I guess everybody should be quiet about the power, as far as the black men go. I guess, I don't know.
Got you. But everybody's giving him everybody has a platform to say what they gotta say, right? So I
can call there, Summer.
I got you, but we're reviewing his
on nothing you're not doing. I can speak on the black community. You know why? Because I'm active in the black community.
Got you, Trey, but aren't you reviewing this video?
I literally took care of other people's kids.
You see see the gaslighting? The gaslighting. Now, mind you, he asked her to come up there. Okay. Man, we was having fun too, before, but let me get back to where we were before I got up there. So let's see where we at.
Well, you guys are trying to have the conversation so that you try to get on one accord so that there could be some power.
Who?
The black community. We're trying to get it together.
When is the black community trying to get on one accord?
Now, I want y'all to listen to what Trey is saying. Trey just told us that nobody can speak on it unless they in the black community doing something about power. Then he said he can speak on it because he is in the black community talking about power and doing things. So Summer then says, well, yeah, for those who are doing that and now who are doing that. And then Trey said, well, who's doing that? Trey basically is about to say nobody's doing that right after he said that he and his group of people are doing that.
This come to first of all,
I'm
we need to come
asking
together to get
you.
together.
I'm
To get
asking
together.
you. No. I'm asking you when.
When what?
When did the black community try to get on one accord?
Personally, I think you know, we did get on somewhat of one accord during the civil rights movement. We did.
I'm talking about now. 2026.
Oh, well, I think it's an effort that's going by, you know, people
What
having these
effort?
discussions.
What
These
effort?
discussions that are being had.
Hold on. So we having discussions trying to get on one accord? You really gonna say that?
I think we're trying to at
The
least.
reason I'm doing this right now is to show you that you're agreeing with somebody and you don't even know why you're agreeing with them, because at the end of the day, what they're saying is a mute point. So I'm really trying to ether you and you don't even see it. Because you don't even have a point.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear respectfully. Let me be clear respectfully. Let me be clear respectfully. I didn't say that I agreed with him.
But you up for caping for him.
All I said, because I could see everybody's. I'm the type of individual that can
you
see
agreeing with a point that everybody agrees with.
Y'all hear this? The gaslighting, right? She says, look, I don't agree with him. But she says, I can see his point. And a lot of people can see his point. That is what she's saying. But they don't want nobody to see his point, which of course gonna make me go up there, right? They're gonna make me go up there and say, yes, I see his point. I know exactly what she's saying. And also he does too. But you know, he gonna act like he don't.
Let me finish.
Hold on. Are you not agreeing with a point? No.
If I may finish.
Are you not agreeing with a point that everybody always agrees with something?
If I may finish.
No. Answer the question. No, don't do that. We're playing the name thing. Are you agreeing with a point that everybody already agrees with?
That means he got a point, right?
No. Again, dude.
You see how so he changing it because he didn't agree that black men didn't have power. But now Trey is saying, oh, we all agree. And are you agreeing that everybody agree? And then so she's saying, well, then he made a point then. Now he said, oh, no, forget all that. Forget all them facts you talking about. Are you? Because Trey was saying now that it was a lie. And in fact, they're going to go back to saying that it's not true. But right now, he going to say, well, it's mute because we all know that black men don't have power. Watch.
Do you not agree with a point that everybody...
Does that mean that he has a point?
No. Again, answer the question.
Does that mean that he has a point?
No, it doesn't.
But you just said everybody agrees on what he's saying already.
He doesn't have a point because we all agree.
So he has a point.
No, he doesn't.
But we all agree.
Exactly.
So he has.
Y'all hear that, right? So he's saying that everybody agrees with him, so he can't say it because it's mute because everybody agree with him. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, this is so ridiculous. I don't even know why somebody said they had to go back and listen to it again, and even then they were still stupid to bring this shit up. You should hear clearer than when you was up there arguing after you listened, when you could just sit and listen to what was coming out of your mouth. It should make more sense to you. He said, they were saying JP don't make no sense. No, we don't agree with nothing he say. Everything he says is stupid. Now they say he has switched it to now we all agree. Don't we all agree? We all agree black men don't have power. And she's saying, well, that means he had a point. Oh, no, it don't, because it's mute. If we all agree that he ain't made no point. And that is, baby, this is the black man right here, baby. This is the black man. Listen, look, I say that because I'm talking about them. I'm hoping and praying that most Black men is not like this. But we're gonna see on this panel though that is just so they come from different backgrounds and they just can be just as ignorant as it can be. And here we go.
That's a point.
No, he doesn't.
How does he not have a point if you're saying we all
Because
agree?
it's obvious.
Okay, but he
Oh, because it's obvious he didn't make no point. It's no point because it's obvious. It's obvious, so of course, if it's obvious, then and everybody agree, then he gotta be wrong.
has an obvious point.
We all agree with it, so we all got a point.
That's all I'm saying.
Your mic's super low, bro.
It's very low. No, listen, I'm about to drop because I'm not going to be because all I am saying is
Now we want to drop.
Yeah, because you keep because y'all let me finish talking.
Listen,
but what I'm saying is
he won't let her speak. He's gaslighting her, right? Now he's now admitting that she was right and JP was right. And now, but he just want to make it seem like, oh no, she's wrong. And that's that gaslighting shit. And they do it a lot too. They do it a lot. And then it gets crazy because the more people who's up there, conversation be with one person, somebody else jump in, then somebody else, they don't even be knowing who's saying what. Right? Here we go.
I already proved that you're wrong.
I'm not wrong about anything. All I said was it's not the message, it's the messenger. I do not agree with everything that he says. Yeah, we can hear you. I do not agree with everything that man says whatsoever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying some of the stuff that he does, some of the stuff that he does.
Did I say that?
Look, gaslighting. She's saying she's just saying what she's saying. And now he's like, did I say that? Did I say that? Did I say that? She's not even saying he said anything. She didn't say, Trey, you said this. She says, all I am saying is, and he's like, did I say that? I'm talking about the gaslighting. And the thing is, though, they so dumb, they confuse themselves. Right? And they confuse. I notice men, and I'm not even trying to be mean. Some of you, I am trying to be mean. I don't give a fuck, right? But to the ones who I like, I'm not, if you take what I say personally, I ain't gonna lie, that's on you. Because if I'm not thinking about you when I say what I'm saying, like if we on this panel, right? Everybody on the panel, and if I say something, if I mention the niggas on the panel, apparently there's somebody on the panel I'm thinking about. It could be all, but it's never none. But I can assure you that it's never all. I never have been on a panel in the last 7 years. I've never been on a panel with somebody that I didn't like. You know what I mean? So I'm up there. I'm up like if I'm over there by Sharon. When I say these niggas are dumb. He don't think I'm talking about him because I am not. Right? Kulu don't think I'm talking about him because I am not. Right? If Night is up there, I hope he don't think I'm talking about him because I am not. Like I give the men who I know are smart, there is no reason for me to call them dumb. In fact, the men who I think are smart, I enjoy having conversations with. I even enjoy when we disagree. So they can either prove me right or wrong, or I can prove them right or wrong. We can have a good, solid conversation. Yes, I could be talking about one person on the panel, and I'd be like, these niggas are dumb. Because I'm not just talking about them. I lump them up, and I've already said that for years. I'm talking about these, we call them rim brothers at this point. It's no longer the red man, the black manosphere or the red pill dudes. They're now rim brothers, baby. I guess you got to get used to that term. I'm talking about these red pills, these rim brothers, red pill, incel, manosphere, these no good suckers. Thank you for Sharon and Brownsville, baby, because whoo, the Rim brother, we to gather them all up under one house. Rim brothers, that's who I'm referring to. And if you're a part of any one of those groups, then I'm referring to you. And I heard about it. You telling me that I'm talking about you is not gonna get me to change my mind. It's not gonna get me to stop saying what I'm saying. So you talking about me, Bob? Am I? Yeah, I'm one of you. Okay, but then I guess I'm talking about you. They tried to play that with me over there. Angry Man tried to play that shit. See, this is the thing. I could be nice and cordial, right? When we are on a panel and we having a conversation, I could conversate even with my enemy as long as my enemy haven't hurt nobody in my family shit. You know what I mean? Because they got some enemies that I gotta take them. We're not sitting amongst each other, but I don't really have no enemies like that to that detriment, right? So I can sit on a panel with mofos who I do not even deal with. I don't like shit that come out their mouth, and I can still have a conversation with them. And I'm gonna handle it however I handle it, however I see fit. Okay. Sometimes they see it. It be obvious, and sometimes it be a little over the head. Which I was gonna do a stream today, but I figured Friday, baby, because I was surely gonna do that stream of what happened over there by Sharon today. You know what I mean? My sleep schedule's all messed up. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. If I go to bed around 3, I'll be up for tomorrow, and we could do this, right? Um, I had to come downstairs because these niggas, see, they got some of these niggas make me have to go loud because they are disrespectful. Okay, so I'm saying what I'm saying now because Angry Man seemed to be one of the people like when I'm up there and I'm not going at him, right? We can have a good conversation. Everybody having a good conversation. I'm laughing with them. I'm telling them that they're too sensitive because they taking everything too seriously. I'm trying to tell them, man, you need to calm down, niggas. What's going on? You're too old. You're going to die of a heart attack. And Bob going to be the one to give it to you. And I don't want to do that. I don't want nobody croaking over because we got in a screaming battle. You understand? But these niggas is on borrowed time. Some of them, they're not eating healthy. They're weight. You can tell that they age too much. So it's just not right. It's just not right for me to know. So I don't want to do this screaming match. But the thing is this: Angry Man has a problem because if you're not going at him and everything seems smooth, he takes his little, he feel like, okay, I got the upper hand. Nigga, you ain't gonna never have the upper hand with me. And anybody who's scared of your bitch ass, they need to stay the fuck away from me. Because when I'm doing what I'm doing, then I'm gonna do it. And so that Miss Kim girl, right? I don't know what her problem is. I don't know, honey. But you gonna have to sit your ass out of my motherfucking way. When I swing, bitch, I'm swinging. You better get the fuck out the way or you gonna get hit. Just like, listen, there's some, if you were swinging at somebody, I'm going to back up and let you do what you do. I ain't there to tell you you're right. I ain't there to tell you you're wrong. You doing you. And so when I'm doing me, then bitch, you're going to have to back the fuck up. Because I tell you, I do not want to be fighting with women. Do not want to fight. It's be so hard. Some of you make it so hard. And ain't nobody over here. Listen, y'all. I be in other areas. I know sometimes think the people be thinking I gotta be talking about somebody we all know. But no, I be in other areas. And I'm gonna tell you, most of the women and even in those other areas are cool. I like them. There's no reason for me not to like anyone, to be honest, unless you play in my face. Okay? I'm gonna let you do you. We could be on a panel and we could disagree. Nothing wrong with that. Don't play in my face. Okay? And that little Rose, bitch, man, listen. Rose, girl, listen. We know always trashy ass bitches when we see them, honey. Okay? You need to get you a fucking man, boo-boo. Cause you so thirsty, bitch. You thirsty. Listen, I might have to come up with a new invention called water, bitch. We gotta look. We got ladies. We gotta come up with something to give these thirsty ass bitches. We gotta come up with something. What y'all thinking? Something that may have never been invented before? Cause these, I don't know. What y'all thinking? We could call it H2O, bitch. We could give it a whole 2O. I mean, if I turn on that thing over there in my kitchen, you think some liquid might come out? Whatever comes out, we need to throw at them bitches. Because that bitch is thirsty. That bitch is thirsty. And the only reason I'm not putting on a beat is because I got monetized. And so I'm trying to chill out for a minute till I learn what I need to learn. Okay? But the bitch is thirsty. She needs some drink. That bitch is thirsty. She need a drink. I ain't got enough for you, boo boo. Okay? We might be able to, you might be able to summon up something from somebody might give you a drop of spit or something, bitch, because you thirsty, oh. Okay? Here we go.
You know, I'm gonna say good night.
No, don't do that.
No, bro.
Remember, did I say you agree with everything that he said?
Not on tonight, okay?
That's being lame. Did I say that?
What's being lame, and to be quite honest,
did I say you agree with everything that he said?
What's being lame? If I'm gonna be honest with you,
did I say that?
Do not let it be finished.
No, did I say you agree with everything that he said?
You're saying that I agree with him.
Is that what I know? No.
Did you just say you agree with him?
Trey, this nigga so disrespectful to that woman Summer that even today when I mentioned, hey, you was up here, you know, and he gonna even start referring to her husband. He says something like, well, you know, no disrespect, but even Summer's husband agreed with me. Thinking, good, like, that's, you see, ladies, you give them inch and they want to take a fucking mile. They don't even want to, y'all. These niggas want to take 100 miles. You give them a little leeway, and I tend to give them a little leeway, but I don't be giving a fuck. Cause soon as I want them to hang themselves, and I'm gonna play with them like they're a pinata. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care, but some of the women, y'all gotta understand. If you let these men continue to talk to you this way, they're gonna catch you at the most unopportune time. What I'm saying is when you gonna think everything cool and they gonna just to embarrass you. Just to embarrass you. And so who the fuck am I? I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna get them first. And even if they get me first, I'm gonna get them better. You got to train them not to play with you. Like they can laugh, we can hee and clown together, but you ain't gonna play with me like I'm your toy, nigga. You better go get somebody better buy you a chew toy that you could chew on while you on all fours walking around like the dog that you are. But I'm not your chew toy. I'm not no squeaky toy neither. And like I just want these men to know that my penis is larger than yours, and you already know this. Most women penises are larger than yours. You walking around with a micro, smaller than our clitoris. You can't, no. Got titties like women. Your hips like, you know what I'm saying, full and shapely. Okay? One of these niggas looked like he was pregnant today on cam. I was like, nigga, what you doing? Did you get, is you getting hit it from the back? Okay? He getting hit from the back. I love that song. Come on, here we go.
And to predict the future is a hazardous occupation. The only thing we can be sure of is that it will be absolutely fantastic.
And I keep trying to tell you that I don't agree with him.
Did I say that you agree with everything that he said?
You said I agree with him.
No. Did I say you agree with everything?
You said I agree with him.
Come on, Summer. Did I say that I agreed with everything that he said?
You said I agree with him.
Okay, on one point, Summer, did I say you agree with everything?
Now I understand on one point. So what I'm saying is, when you say you agree with him, that's in totality. Now you're saying you agree with him on one point. That's what you're saying. Crazy. So I heard you.
Look, and she's 100% right. Okay, because listen, I know I didn't play it, but he is the one who said, "Come up here and explain." It was done like, I don't know, like, I guess whatever problem him and JP had, I guess JP done pissed them off, man. Okay, JP had them pissed off, and they all was willing to gather up. You know what I mean? His name in the title and everything. You see what I'm saying? They know. Look, they know that you put his name in the title, make a thumbnail and shit. Then you know people coming. People gonna go. They know it.
Hey, do y'all see this? This is a real time.
The chat is actually saying you have been cutting me off and have not allowed me to speak.
Hold on, I don't care. Hold on, first of all, I don't care because they don't run a panel. They don't know how to run a panel.
But look, they don't know how to run a panel, and neither do he. But I mean, he acting like it's such a hard thing to run a panel. Especially the way he doing it. Like him and her, nobody else even gotten to speak.
But you just asked.
They don't understand how to run a panel. When somebody's moving a goalpost and not being accountable,
I didn't move the goalpost at all.
That's what I'm doing.
I didn't even get a post to move. I ain't even said nothing really.
You've been talking this whole time. How was you not able to get your point across?
Look, and Angry Man come up lying. She been talking the whole time, and she barely was able to get anything out, because as soon as she say 2, 3, 4 words, Trey starts asking her other questions. So, like, are these men? Can I say the R word? Like, I don't. At this point, I don't even know. What is Santa doing right now? Oh, he was heated today, baby. He was heated when he came up there, and because they asking me about JP. Now, people like to do that, and I don't mind. I don't care, but I'm staying on what the hell I stand on. I don't give a fuck with nobody here, right? So Kim was like, "Nah, Miss Bomb," and I'm okay. I'm like, okay, you got it the way you got it, and I'm got it the way I got it. But I like, even after we got off of that, they was talking about some other shit, and then she brought it right back to that shit. Would it brought you, Miss Bomb? And I'm thinking to myself, actually, I don't think I said it to myself. I think I said it to her. Like, what, I'm asking her, like, what's going on? Because you can't change my mind. I said what I said. What the hell going on right now? Okay? I'm going to need the women to kind of back up a little bit. I just need you to back up and give me my space. Because if I start swinging, you just got to stay out of my way. If I'm swinging at the men, I don't know why you would stand up and get in my way. I hope you don't think I'm going to stop out of respect. But you're going to get punched in your throat and kicked to the side. I'm going to step over you. I'm going to step on you to get to where I'm going. You're getting a little too beside yourself. You're getting a little too comfortable, a little too familiar. You think we familiar like that. Listen, if you was familiar with me, you would know that you need to get the fuck out my way. You got to go out my way, honey. Cause ain't none of that. You ain't my mama where I'm gonna be scared to, like, where I'm gonna be about to punch. You gonna jump in the middle and you think what I'm gonna rethink my thoughts? Nah, I'm gonna recalibrate, bitch. And instead of throwing my right, I'm going to throw my left, smack you right in your throat and push you out the way so I can take my right hand and continue on with what I had planned before you jumped in my way. Y'all got me fucked up, baby. I don't know what's wrong with these hoes, baby, but they're going to have to do better. You got to do better. Okay? But we're going to get to that because that's in today's stream what happened today. Let's get back to
Angry
this.
Man, I've been cut off the entire time, so I have not been able to get my complete points across. That's what I was saying.
Because you legitimately do not have a point.
Look, because she legitimately don't have a point, y'all. So she getting cut off. She don't get this because she ain't got a point, even though they don't know what the point is because she ain't been able to really stand on it and say it. But, of course, she's a woman. She's a woman.
You're not
making a legitimate point.
Okay, I'm not making a legitimate point. I got you.
No, because so what was JP's overall point then?
All I was saying was a bunch of arguing. It was a bunch of disagreement and argument. The only thing that I agreed on with what he said was that us as Black people really don't have any power at this time. We really don't. We're under a system. That's all I said. And the other thing that I said was you have other people that are resonating with him because I'm looking at the comments and I've seen other shows he's been on where people are agreeing with him. That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying.
That's why people are cutting you off because you're not landing your plane. You're not landing your plane.
Now she's not landing the plane. The man who talked the most, okay? He not landing the plane. Oh, okay, she's not landing.
I'm trying to engage in the conversation with you, and you're going on and on and on. Like you could have stopped right there where he said Black people didn't have no power. But the problem is, JP is not very well versed in what he's talking about. He's been around somebody that has knowledge of self, and he's gotten bits and pieces from them, but he doesn't have a full understanding of it. And y'all hear that little seed of truth in what he's saying, and you think he knows what he's talking about. But for brothers that actually have knowledge of self and understand those talking points that he's using without the context, we know he don't know what he's talking about.
That part.
You don't know what he's talking about, because when you talk about Black people not having power, look, if Black people didn't have any power, we'd still be slaves.
Yeah.
You don't know what an AI work management platform is? Okay, let me tell you. Here's 3 new AI-powered changes to the Monday platform.
Y'all heard that, right? Now, they swear up and down, I'm the one who mentioned slavery. They said I did it. They said, Mom, no, we was talking about something else. And you came up and you started talking about JP. And no, we was talking about something else. You the one who brought up slavery. You the one, and we wasn't talking about JP, Bomb. We wasn't talking about JP, Bomb. You came up here and you started talking about JP because we had to move on. That's what they say. We had to move on. That's what this Pete Smurf dude said. The other dude wasn't even on this panel. He was like, yeah, because we was doing. That nigga wasn't even up here at all. That JT nigga. Right? That JT nigga wasn't up here. Because I don't really fuck with him. I don't like him. Okay? And every chance I decide I'm gonna swipe at the bitch ass nigga, which is why I did swipe at him tonight. Okay? Anyway, so do I need to rewind where you hear Angry Man mention slavery? This nigga mentioned slavery. Let's hear it again.
Don't know what he's talking about.
That part.
Don't know what he's talking about, because when you talk about Black people not having power, look, if Black people didn't have any power, we'd still be slaves.
I'm sure
He said we still be slaves. And then you hear me coming in. Now, this lying ass nigga P. Smurf, though, said that I'm the one who said that. He also said that they wasn't talking about JP. That's what he said. He said I came up there and started talking about JP. And when I told him to go run that bean footage, I said I'm older, but I'm not stupid, and I definitely don't have a problem with my memory. You know, I've never smoked anything, and I never drank alcohol before. Now, I'm not saying that's why I have a good memory, because I don't know that to be a fact. But I'm not the one who get high and fucked up my brain on drugs. You know, my brain ain't never been soaking in no alcohol for no long periods of time ever in my life. Okay. The idea that these motherfuckers just think that because I'm older, and they start trying to make it seem like I have a bad memory or like I don't know what I'm talking about. They the ones who take something that's so broad and try to minimize it. Right? If I say these niggas is dumb, then they would automatically go, why are you calling me dumb? I'm like, shit, a hit dog will holler. And it ain't my fault. Oh, it ain't my fault. What? Oh, it ain't my fault. It's not my fault. Okay? But the hit dogs will holler. Here we go.
Talking about
that part.
You don't know what he's talking about, because when you talk about black people not having power, look, if black people didn't have any power, we'd still be slaves.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
That's actually true.
No, white people.
Very true.
Well, white people are the ones who freed us, but we don't have a lot of power.
White people didn't free us. We freed ourselves.
No, of course we did not. I heard this nigga said we freed ourselves. Now, mind you, that's the one who said that we wasn't talking about JP, and that's the one who told me that I'm the one who mentioned slavery, and he, he's saying that we freed ourselves. I guess we got off them plantations ourselves. We decided to just what we all got together. Oh shit. Oh Lord, y'all done scared myself in this motherfucking house. My own shadow. That's crazy as hell, y'all. I'm over here making me some noodles. I mean some fresh homemade noodles, and I'm just putting butter on them. A little butter and pepper, and that's all you need when you make homemade noodles. You don't need no sauce or nothing. Now the thing is, I shouldn't be eating these noodles though. But these are egg noodles. They taste like fresh eggs. I'm a yell and shit. I probably woke up the whole house. My whole shadow scared the shit out. That's because of that damn dryer. I hear clicking and clacking in it, And then I saw my shadow. I ain't hear nobody come down. I thought it was one of my sons. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There you go. Okay.
3 hours and a mule. They went back on the treaty. There are literally treaties that's
what that got to do with you talking about after slavery?
It,
Look, y'all hear him? This nigga talk about a treaty after slavery. Let's hear it again. He go, of course we did not free ourselves.
They went back on the treaty. There are
y'all heard that nigga mention $40 in a mule? Y'all heard him? Y'all heard him? I don't know why he mentioned that. What that got to do with us freeing ourselves? If we had freed ourselves, why would they be giving us anything? We would have just went and took what the hell we want. And then they wouldn't be on us shit today. We would have went and took it, right? There would know us no reparations. At least that's what they say, because we would have did what we had to do, free ourselves, and we would be, running shit. But this dude said we freed ourselves, and then he mentioned reparations. Oh, we freed ourselves, but they said, here you go. This is what we owe you for the atrocities that we've done you. Is that what they do when you free yourself? When you come out of bondage through fighting? Right? Because that's what we would have had to do to free ourselves. Unless he thought we were gonna vote ourselves into freedom. These men are ridiculous. And the women like Rose is just a dumb broad. Dumb broad. Okay. And this is the same dude that told me he finally decided because of Trey to do better, to start reading and use larger words. He said he grabbed the dictionary so he can learn longer, better words. And I was like, nigga, you took a nigga on the internet when you look like you about 48 easily? For you to start doing better? It wasn't your children. Your children didn't provoke you, and you didn't look at them and say, wow, I love them. I need to do better for the sake of them. Nah, I took a internet dude on the internet to get you to do better. Need a little salt. So the butter could pop out. Here we go.
Literally treaties. That's
what they got to do with you talking about after slavery? No, you are talking about after slavery.
Mom,
We did not free ourselves.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hey, Angle Man, I got you. 1 second. Bomb Cherry, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm gonna see, and based off your response, it's gonna let me know that you're not qualified to have this conversation.
Don't try to get. There you go. So I said, hey, I did not insult y'all. I said, y'all told me that I wasn't qualified, that I wasn't smart enough to have the conversation. That P. Smurf said, dude told everybody today that no, I said that to them. I said, no, y'all told me that I wasn't qualified. And then I told you that you wasn't qualified. And I asked him, well, why are you up here today? Only remembering that I told you, you the crybaby. You the one crying about what I told you. You forgot what the hell was said to me, though. So you take shots and I'm going to give them back, and I'm a good shooter, honey. I done killed a 10-buck, 200 yards while he was running. You understand what I'm saying? He wasn't standing still, baby. He was on the giddy up. I had to follow him and put that sight just a few steps ahead of him so I could take that shot. Don't play with me, baby. I'm from the bayou, honey. Cats like me like you did something.
No. I'm saying now, don't even try to play. Don't run from this.
Run. So I told him not to gaslight me, and now he gonna say don't run.
Why?
Watch this shit.
Why? Hold on. Why did the U.S. government make a treaty with the Seminoles? That's my question to you.
Thank you.
And that dumbass nigga in the back said thank you. That's that P. Smurf dude, the one who told me that I'm the one who called them dumb. What does this have to do with the topic of us freeing ourselves? Is what I was like, what they have to do with what we're talking about? Here we go. Well, that has to do after slavery, right?
No. Answer the question.
What that have to do with what we are talking about?
Bomb game. Checkmate.
Bomb Cherry.
Listen, I don't know. There's nothing that I don't know about history. He said that we freed ourselves and
Bomb Cherry, let me ask you a question.
We know the president freed us, and we know why he freed us.
Bomb Cherry. Bomb Cherry, that's only one part of it. Let me ask you a question, Bomb Cherry.
Look, the nigga said said that's only one part of it without me even saying it, because he knows that I'm right. We know what president that freed us, right? We know why he freed us. But why would they be talking about treaties? And then today, the same nigga started asking me another question. And y'all, he asked me about the Tuskegee Airmen. I don't think it was him. Was it him or the KT dude? It was one of them. It was somebody up there today. And that's even farther away from slavery. I've been saying this to these men for years. They know bits and pieces of history, but they don't know how to line it up. They don't know the Edwardian times. They don't know none of this. If I ask them when the Edwardian times were, they don't know. They don't know anything. They don't know when kitchens ended up in our homes, bathrooms. They don't understand when fireplaces. When did people start having their animals outside? Like, they don't know none of this. They don't know any of it. And so they think that the way we live today, we've always lived for the most part. They don't know why they walk on the inside of the curb instead on outside instead of the inside. They don't know why, you had an umbrella when you walk in the major cities. They didn't know, they don't know whether you ain't got a house, um you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. They don't know that that was an actual thing, that people use a pot and they actually threw it out the window. There was no toilets, no flushing. They literally threw it out the window. It had gotten so bad in these major cities, right? That people started dying. People was dying from disease and shit, from rats and rodents was spreading it. And back then they didn't even have penicillin yet. It wasn't even founded. And so they thought that people were just dying. They thought as long as they cut them off, but they didn't know that shit was spreading in the air. These men don't know what they're talking about. They only know what they put in a movie. And even then they still get confused. They don't know how many wars we've had. They'll get confused. World War One, World War Two. I bet you they think one of those are the Civil War. Right? That's why when this dude mentioned slavery today, he took it back to the Tuskegee Airmen. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? He was like, that's why we got free. And people around the world, they saw that black men, they saw us for us. And I'm like, dude, no. We've been in several wars. Black men have participated in several wars. But that one where they gonna claim that we got freed because black people was in this war. And I think that's what Angry Man gonna say. But see, this is what he don't know with his dumb ass, is that you didn't have a right to be in the war just because you wanted to be there. Your actual master could have signed you in and you would fight on behalf of his state. He would, instead of him going to fight, he would say, here go my boy, and he gonna fight on my state. He gonna fight on my, and they would put you in, and your ass would be fighting, but you were still enslaved, though. And when you won that war, right? If that's what you're saying, you do understand that was the Civil War. And you do understand that black people fought on both sides. So, let's say it again. On sides. So while you were fighting on the south side, for the Southerners, you was fighting for them to remain enslaved. Dumbass. I want to put on a Hey, I want to put on a beat. I can't even lie. I just want to get heated. These niggas at my feet. Hey, history is not your thing. Hey, all you could do is bang. Hey, and you could barely do that. Let a bitch hit you from the back. Hey, and hey, you don't even know your A, B, C. All you got is those B's. And I will say, you're like a little baby that nobody wants. Let me stop. Listen, these men are dumb, but let's hear what the old man about to tell us. Let's hear it. Let's hear it with our own ears. Here we go.
How we even here? Let's go back to JP.
Hold on, Bouncer. Let me
don't move the goalpost now. Don't do that. We're gonna stay right there. No, we're gonna stay right there.
Let me ask you a question, Bouncer. You now, if I remember correctly, you Creole, aren't you?
I'm both Creole and Cajun, yes. Okay. And that's something I said. I told y'all this earlier, right? You know, when I be retelling the stories and shit, I know exactly how that shit went. Right? I said that he asked me that. Right? This dude, Pete Smurf said no. No, Bob, you brought up slavery. You tried to change it. Because we were somewhere else. I said, no, we was talking about JP. He said, no. Well, we was on something else. You wanted to bring it back to JP. He heard me say this, but remember, we've been talking for at least 5 minutes at this point. We started out talking about JP. Okay? They the ones, they too young to be all fucked up in the head. But I surmise that they've been this way since they were born. I surmise that they like to call JP different names, but I have it some intel that they are probably far worse than JP. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, cool. So this is one part of the history that you should know. Do you know what the Gulligi Wars was?
I know that there was Gulligi wars. Yes, there was all type of wars. So I'm not understanding the point that y'all are speaking on.
That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason we got our freedom. We didn't just get our freedom because of
y'all hear this dude, and look at they laughing like, look at her, he got her. This man is so far away from what the hell he's talking about. He's far away from slavery. Okay. What you gotta get you wars he talking about? Right? If y'all not understanding, I don't think y'all understand this country. And so it's almost like these black men, because they won't go to school, right? They won't go to school. They're against education for real. So they get their little bits and pieces from whom I have no idea. But they need to go to school, and then they will learn that there was wars, right? Territorial wars. There was wars with in other countries. There was wars on this soil because different countries owned and controlled different parts of this country. You had the Spanish, right? Listen, I don't know how to, this is crazy, baby. But remember, he's talking about slavery, freeing slavery. What does that have to do with anything? We had slaves who were who either ran or they was released, right? Depending on the situation at hand, where they was located. And some of them ended up in certain areas that was controlled by the Spanish, right? Or the French, right? And so Not only that, but they had some blacks, right? African slaves or slaves, right? Black slaves, let's put it like that, FBA, who ended up with some natives. And they was in a whole nother area, which when you're talking about the Gulligi, and so you got little wars even between the different natives, as we call them today. So I don't even know what they're talking about. And then they make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. They are the ones who making this. They just mentioning the Gullah Geechee wars. Let me hey Siri, search up Gullah Geechee war.
Here's what I found.
It's interesting. Do I want to go into this right now? Hey Siri, search Gullah Geechee wars.
I found this on the web.
Don't even know that they got something going on now. They don't know this, man. It's the most crazy thing. It's crazy, baby. They had back-to-back wars, y'all. Look, wait, let me put it up on the screen. Let me see. Damn. The only reason I'm sharing this because I know some people who may not know this, right? I studied the Gullah Geechee because of my family, right? The way my family and the property and things, how it's so related to the Gullah Geechees that I was wondering, like, could we be related or in some kind of way? Okay. So let me see. Now there's a book. When the Gullah beat the US in back-to-back wars. See, they don't know what the Gullah Geechee is. They've only heard it, but you don't know anything about those people. I would be surprised even if you looked at a documentary just to get the little bit of information that they shared there. Right? Because most black men not doing that. Right? You probably find a short, and they got a minute to give you some information, but you need to go grab you a book or something. But then there's some of us, we ain't really got to grab no books because our family themselves, you know what I'm saying? The Gullah won 3 wars against the United States in the 1800s. Okay. What had happened was, see, when I be like, what had happened was, okay, there's significance behind that right there. What had happened was, okay, the U.S. declared itself independent in 1776. That's when the states went from being colonies to of Britain to becoming the United States of America. It already had 13 colonies, states, right? But were hungry for more. Okay. Now, I would like to ask these men, had slavery ended before Independence Day? Or did slavery end after we gained our independence? Because I'm quite sure you're going to see that we got our slavery after we gained our independence. Okay? Problem was Spain owned Florida and wasn't about to give it up so easy. They put word out that on the block that folk made their way to Florida from the Low Country, that they'll be free from slavery. Spain wasn't being righteous. They figured black folk would be their bodyguards. They too did not give a shit about us being enslaved or not. They just needed more people on their side so they can keep their property, their district, their area. Florida was nothing but swamp and mosquitoes. Folks were catching malaria out there, right? It was hard living, but the Gulligi who run away had preferred that over the plantation. Now, when he asked me about the Gullah Geechee War, he said war. He said Gullah Geechee War. He did not say, hey, Bob, which one of those Gullah Geechee Wars, or the second Gullah Geechee War, or the third Gullah Geechee War, or how about the current Gullah Geechee War right now that's going on for their property? I know. This is about as dumb as they can be, baby. We're going to get back to it, though. Let's hear him say it again. And when I say, what does that have to do with anything? The Gullah Geechee had wars before slavery ended and after as well. Black men, see, they don't even understand the word war, because in their mind, war can only be one way only, and that's only one way. It's sad, y'all. It's sad. I feel so sad for these men. It's just pitiful. I don't feel sad for them. It's pitiful. It's terrible. They should be ashamed of themselves. And then look at the others, though. They think that Angry Man, who I've had conversation with before, and many other women, and we have destroyed him. He does not know what he's talking about. Not now, not never. He could be correct about, some shit when he said about JP as far as JP took a little bit of this. His talking point changed. That's what I was even saying to the sister, Kim, who's like, he always say the same thing. She said she just got here in like January. And I was like, nah, he don't just talk about the same thing, but he has his talking points. Whatever, But here we go. There was all type of wars. So I'm not.
Do you know what the Gullah Geechee Wars was?
I know that there was Gullah Geechee wars. Yes, there was all type of wars. So I'm not understanding the point that y'all are speaking on.
That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason we got our freedom. We didn't just get our freedom because of listen, we didn't just get.
That's a lie. You're lying. So the Gullah Geechee, right? When they went to Florida, right? So there was a group of people, the Spanish had said, if you come down here, you'll earn your freedom. You'll be free. And then black people went down there. The people got there and they fought with them and everything. And when everything was over, them motherfuckers packed up and left. And they did not take black people with them, and they did not declare them as anything. So those black people and Native, they had to hide. Some of them, from my understanding, they hid for a good amount of time until our government found them and killed them all. They had started their own little country, area in the fucking woods, and it was protected because they had waterways, right? It was right there. I don't know is that what they call the Mississippi, but they was protected and hiding. But some kind of way they said that the government found them, and they just finding these people today, like recent times, in those thick Florida precious. They think they found a whole civilization, I guess. I don't know if you call it civilization, but a whole lot of people that they say our government found them and killed them. Okay? He don't know what the hell he's talking about. And they're excited.
No, that's not true. Wait, listen. That's not true. Listen, hold on, stop. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. And if you think I'm lying, anybody can go do their research, right?
This is Pocket. I never go anywhere without it. At the tap of a button, it records and creates organized notes based on your.
So look, here's the thing.
Damn, boy.
It's not just because of Abraham Lincoln signing the Emancipation Proclamation. Even if you look at that, Abraham Lincoln had nothing to do with us. Abraham Lincoln, even if you believe,
He said that had nothing to do with us. That had everything to do with us, dumbass. That's how we got free. Now, why they freeze us? Do we even care? This dude said that had nothing to do with us. That's how we was able to get off them plantations, dumbass. Who else did it have to do with? Dumbass. Y'all just say anything. It had nothing to do with us. It had nothing to do with us. It must have was for them Chinese people who wasn't here yet. You know what I mean? It must have was for them Africans. It was for them Africans. You know, them Africans that wasn't here yet. Who was it for? What was it? What for? That wasn't it for us. Come on, Jesus Christ.
that Abraham Lincoln would have never won that Civil War if it wasn't for black people fighting in that war.
Don't let me know
that. Okay. What does that have to do with anything? And the honest truth, we don't even know that to be true. We're not. Look, I'm gonna give the credit where credit due. The black men who was forced by his master to fight in the Civil War, along with the women who fought in the Civil War. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we're gonna give them all credit. The credit that you don't want to give the people who actually signed the papers, had them had the government come down and make sure that they escorted us off the plantation or turned the plantation over to us. Now, remember something else happened after that, not too long after that. You see? That's when black men should have really taken power. Because you was free. Legally, you was free. And they started changing the laws on you, but you didn't take up arms and say, no, I'm a man and I got the right to defend myself and my family. But you didn't. You didn't. You tried, I guess. You tried, I guess.
Listen, he was getting his ass handed to him by the Confederates until black people entered that war, until blacks started fighting in that war. So
black people was in that war from the beginning. And they was on both sides. They was on both sides.
That's number one. We
know that.
Okay, but also
you don't know that then. Also, it wasn't this conversation.
But also, it wasn't.
Y'all see, and that's what I told him. I told that guy that we was talking, and there was a lot of talking going over, and he said no. And me and Angry Man was talking, and you jumped in. That's what that man P. Smurf said to me today or tonight. He said. I said, look, there was a lot of cross talking going on, so maybe y'all was confused what I was saying. I said, because I know what I said. He said, no, me and Angry Man was talking, and you were the one jumping in. Now I know y'all just saw what happened. Me and Angry Man going back and forth. I'm disagreeing with him. He's talking his bullshit. I'm saying no, that's not true. And this Smurf dude is the one who just jumping in. They the ones saying, they got all these effects and shit.
It wasn't just that. It was a number of things that were happening that Black people were doing that forced them into a position where they could not continue doing what they were doing. They couldn't continue.
That's not true. That's not true, y'all.
Look, and I'm telling you, that's not true. And listen, y'all, that is not true.
Absolutely true.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But okay, like y'all don't know history, and y'all want to do.
You don't know. Hold on. First of all, hold on. First of all, we got 82 likes and we got 200 people watching. That's a goddamn violation.
Oh yeah, y'all better hit.
Yo, get the mic up.
What we doing, pimp? Straight up. Shout out to Bino Nation pulling up. Shout out for sure. Now, let me say this. When I asked you about the treaties, Blonde Cherry, and you could not articulate about why the American government went back on the treaties, that lets me know you have not, and I'm not saying you're not educated, so I'm not going to do that. What I'm saying, you hadn't studied and truly understand what really
No, I didn't answer your question because what I said was, what does that have to do you understand when you said they went back on the treaties, but you're saying that it was
no, that's no. So that hold on.
Oh, he won't let me finish. Look, because it's obvious, right? If they went back on the treaties, if they went back, that means we didn't have the power to make them follow through. He literally said something that was ridiculous in the beginning. I said, what that got to do with anything, right? I was hoping that he would think about what he referenced, and then he'd be like, oh, maybe, maybe I said that wrong, or maybe, but they're saying that Black people, and they're really talking about Black men. When they talk about war, they only think that Black men were the only ones in war. And so he's referencing some shit that he know nothing about. But if he's saying that Black people freed themselves and we had all that power, then why did they go back on the treaties? And then he mentioning Gulligi. I don't know if everybody Black is Gulligi. I mean, we can think about it for a minute. If the Gulligi is called Gulligi and the rest of the people are called Black, if the Gulligi are Gulligi, but the others are just Black. Hey, if the Gulligi are Gulligi, the Gitchi Gully, and the rest of the people are called Black, are they the same people? If the Gulligi, if the Gitchi today, and the FBA is FBA, are they the same people? Hey, throw your hands in the air. Tell me today. I swear. Hey, if the Gulligi people, hey, they the people today, and the FBA or the FBA. Listen, y'all don't hear these men? The Gulligi people still are Gulligi people. There are some Black people who are Gulligi people. Everybody in this country was not Gulligi people. Everybody Black in this country was not Gulligi people. Everybody did not go down to Florida or North Carolina, in the Carolinas, and hide with the Native Americans. What in the hell are these men talking about? They learned a little piece of information. Remember, that's what Angry Man says JP does. He said he learned a little piece of here, he learned a little piece of there, and then he just go on his talking spree. And that's also what Angry Man does. They learn a little piece of information here and learn it there, but you don't understand how to connect that shit. Just like when he asked me, aren't I Creole? I don't even know why he asked me that. Like, it's just so off, right? I thought he was gonna say, well, shit, if you Creole from Louisiana, you probably do know more about the American history, right? When it comes to slavery. Because yeah, they have a different history. Because it was run by a different group of people. The territory, should we say. Okay. And then even the argument of Mardi Gras started in Mississippi and not Louisiana. But then if you go and you'll see that area where there was Mardi Gras, Mississippi, that was considered Louisiana. And that's why in Mississippi, in that area, are those French names. The Ivyville. You know? But that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day.
So it's not
wait. You're not letting me finish. See, you're doing the same thing you did this summer to me.
The reason I'm not letting you finish because you're not answering the question.
Yes, but the question makes no sense because
it does make sense. Hold on. So Bomb Cherry, there were no Bomb Cherry. There were no treaties. Is that what you're saying?
No, I did not say that. You're not listening.
So again, I asked you a question. Why did they go back on the treaties?
Listen, and I am saying that it doesn't matter because listen to what I'm saying. First, listen to what I'm saying.
You're not respectfully.
If you are saying that we had all this power, then why would they then go back on the treaties? That means
hold on. So Summer, you don't sure I'm asking questions. You not answering the question. So as a moderator, I'm just supposed to let people.
Y'all hearing?
If you ever wanted to start your own clothing brand, but you didn't want to buy inventory,
go around the goddamn.
Y'all hear him? Now he's changing the whole topic. Now he's saying, hey, because I'm telling him what he's asking me don't make sense. It don't add up. It's not around. It's not the same time frame, and it makes no sense because you saying that they went back on the trees, and you essentially saying that we did not have the power to make them follow through with something that they signed, which is called a treaty. But remember, his argument is that Black people had power, so much power that we freed ourselves. And if we had such great power to free ourselves, then of course they would have had to follow through with the treaty. And yet they did not. He is saying that they did not. And therefore, his question is mute. It makes zero sense. There's no reason for me to tell him why they didn't follow through with the treaty. And which treaty is he speaking about? You know, the America has fallen, have failed to follow several treaties. He's talking about treaties with the Gulligi. He need to go do research and see who those people are, because those are African people who got with Native people. They got with Native people, Spanish people who may have stayed or didn't stay or whatever, right? Because you got to understand that after a war, some of these men from these wars stayed in America because they done created families. They done got with a woman, got her pregnant and everything. And she and her and the family could not go back. Not, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have, all these men couldn't put them women and children on them ships and go back to their country. That was dangerous anyway. But so we have a lot of those men who fathered children and they stayed. And then we have some where they had to leave them children here. not to mention the ones who died. Okay. These men are too simple. They simple-minded, and they have no complexity to their brains, and therefore they see a path, and that's the only path they see. It's straight in a line, right? They don't see nothing else. They can't see nothing getting in the way. They can't see, hey, here's these group of men, and then in this country they're fighting, but they still living a life, right? They still have the nightlife and everything, they still getting with women and getting married. You know what I'm saying? Because this country, and then it depends on what war we talking about. Like, what are we talking about? Because I'm confused too. I'm talking about what war are we talking about? But even if you're talking about the Civil War, there were brothers fighting each other. Brothers, living brother, like from the same household and everything. And one of them believed in the freedoms and the forwarding of this country. And others, they were greedy and they wanted to keep enslaved people. You would literally have brothers, family members fighting each other, killing each other, by the way. But y'all never heard these men speak on that. This man is talking about black people. Oh, the black people, when they got in the war, they wouldn't have won the war if it wasn't for them. And I'm like, well, what are you, like, which side? what side are you talking? So his mind is so simple that to him, he thinking, oh, the black men were so powerful and they must have was on that side to fight against slavery. But no, that ain't how it worked. You fought for your master, your slave owner. Okay. And so they had just as many black men on for the southern states, if not more, than they had for the northern. Oh, and let's not, and remember, we are talking about the slavery, right? So then we also gotta even think about that, because I'm just saying, they won't give no nigga no guns, baby. He making it seem like, yeah, we were so big and we were so buff and we were just ready. They needed us. Man, you better go and pick up a book. And next time you buy a book, open that bitch up and start reading, okay? Because you just cannot just buy books to sit them on your shelf. Okay, angry man, you already got caught out here like that already. Don't make me roast you, nigga, but you're just doing too much and doing too little at the same time. Ooh, baby, y'all just so dumb.
Question, and I answer the question. No, you don't do that.
No, what I'm saying is allow the person to get their complete thoughts out. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not. Why? Listen, if I ask you a question,
you're gonna answer.
If I ask you about basketball, you're gonna talk about hockey, and I'm supposed to sit there and listen.
She's talking about the treaty.
Again, am I supposed to sit there and listen?
I'm talking about the treaty.
Summer, I asked you a question. If we're talking about basketball and you start talking about hockey, no.
But she's talking about
you won't answer my question.
And that's why I've been doing what I'm doing.
If I ask you about basketball,
if
you can't even answer a simple question, Summer. If I ask you about basketball, you start talking about hockey, why am I supposed to listen?
In that situation, no. But she's trying. But she's trying to answer about the treaty. That's all. That's all we're trying to say.
She said there was no treaty.
No, I did not say there was not no treaty. I did not say
that. Yes, she did.
No, I did not.
No.
Yo, can I crazy work?
And that's what he's saying tonight. What that man just said just now, that I said there's no treaties. He said that tonight. He keep repeating, and I guess he figures the longer and the more he says it, the truer it will become. But I never said there was no treaties. There's treaties. There's been treaties. And what I keep saying is it has nothing to do with slavery, us being released from slavery. Okay. I don't think y'all even know what a treaty is. I mean, Florida, it became a part of the U.S. You know, like, do you know what a treaty is? Do I need to look that up for you too? Let's do that. Hey Siri, search treaty.
I found this on the web.
Okay, I found this on the web for tree.
No, I didn't say tree, but I kind of did say treaty. Okay. Hey Siri, search treaty.
I found this on the web.
Oh yeah, it's on my iPad. Let me search it on here. I don't know why I keep asking Siri to search something when I know I'm okay. Let's see. 3D5. Yeah, y'all, it's crazy, y'all. Let's look it up. It's a formally concluded and ratified agreement between two countries. Now, it's crazy, baby. It's so crazy. I'm so sorry, but it's so crazy. It's really just so crazy, right? Do you understand that he is talking about the Gulligi? Those are people here. He's mentioning treaties, though. And it's fascinating how dumb they are. So a treaty is an agreement or arrangement made by negotiations, right? And it is political, and it's usually through like this says states or sovereignties, right? Formally signed by representatives, duly authorized, ratified by lawmaking authority of the state, right? Um, let's see. That's something else. Let's put in what he's talking about. But no. Let's try this. It's crazy that I have to do this. Uh, everything I've already said. The Gulligi people of today are descendants of enslaved Africans from several tribal groups of West and Central Africa forced to work on plantation in the coastal North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Many waterways parting the land made travel to the mainland difficult and rare. Okay, we're gonna forget all of that right there. What came up? Oh, maybe I hit the wrong thing. What did I hit? Did I hit that first thing? I must have. Mm-mm. Boom, boom. Is he referring to the land? That's why I kept asking him, like, what are you talking about? It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But he's talking about slavery. And I'm telling him that had nothing to do with slavery. And so I'm not sure what the hell he talking about. Okay. The treaties were done with Spain which they were the Gulligi people. But I'm not sure what they have to do. That's why I kept telling him, well, like what he's talking about don't make any sense. It has nothing to do with the topic at hand. Okay, here we go.
I never said there wasn't a treaty. I said, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Icon. I guess.
I want to ask a question to make the conversation flow a little bit better. Because I'm going to play the fucking devil's advocate. I'm going to be fucking. What are you talking about? Because I think that the women don't understand, and I half-ass understand what y'all know. So then let's explain exactly what the.
And this is why some of these bitch-ass niggas need to shut the fuck up. Because this nigga said, well, he basically saying he just entering into the combo, and he don't think the women understand, and he definitely don't understand. And it's weird that the women don't understand automatically because we're women, while we sit amongst men who don't know how to read. Okay? They don't know how to read. But it's the women who's always the ones who don't know something. And that's what's so sad about you, right? Because y'all just too old. I'm talking to these old niggas who don't teach and educate. You don't even push education to our younger brothers, which is be your sons and your nephews and shit. And when we women do it, the men give us pushback. Oh, he don't need to go and get that. Maybe he could go and get this. And if it was so easy for him to get this, then why did you go do it? How you ain't even nowhere on the path to give advice for real. And instead of you just saying, yeah, education is important and letting them figure it out, you siding with them not getting education. That's why we ain't got no power, baby. Ain't got no power because you dummies can't get no power. Even if dummies got power, because you'll realize there's always been civilizations of people that came into power through brute force, but they don't last long. Because like your movements is all studied. And then somebody say, oh, this is how they taking power. They coming in with brute force. And so we see what trail they on. They're going to be hitting us in a couple of days. And this is what we got to do. We're going to meet them head on. We're going to set up a trap for them. We're going to set a trap for them. We ain't even going to have to get close to them. They so dumb. They think all they got to do is just have the muscle, the height. All they got to do is lift weights, ladies, and that's it. And that's why they will always lose. Because you do have to have some brain power on your side. You got to know how to not fall into traps. You got to know how your enemy may think. Something that you men just don't know how to do. It's mostly women that do that part. Where they come up with the ideas, hey, this is what's going to happen. Because they coming through here. This is how they went through that country. They came straight through. Don't look like they don't want to go on nothing but flat terrain, right? They don't even want to go through no woods, nothing. So they're going to be wide and open. They're coming along the roads. And so what we're going to do, we're going to hide so they can't see us. And then when they get to this certain area here, we're going to get them. We setting a trap for them. We're gonna hit them from all sides. And we ain't going to have to get close to them. We just going to have to push a button. And so, yeah, y'all not smart enough. You just not. You're just not. It's sad.
No, listen. No, listen. You're not gonna tell people what we don't understand. You might make the motherfucker but
Icon, we're not giving no answers. Icon, we're not helping nobody out and giving nobody the answers.
Look, Icon said, okay, just give us the answer. And he like, we're not giving nobody no answer. Because he ain't got no answer. And that's called gaslighting. And the thing about it is they weak at this shit. It's obvious. It's sad. It's so motherfucking sad. It's so sad. It's so fucking sad. It's so sad that it's ridiculous. Trey didn't even have nothing to do with the question. It came from Anger Man. But then Trey did ask a question too, right? And neither one of them have to do with where we started about Black people freed themselves out of slavery. And this is the thing, the people in the chat know I'm right. Mostly everybody in this country and others know that I'm right. And yet they still will side with them because they'll say, well, she don't know this. And I'm like, if you don't know this, but what I do know is that this has nothing to do with the topic we're talking about. And Trey then says, well, I asked the question, answer the question. I'm like, the answer has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Because I don't even know, like, what treaty is he talking about? What war was he talking about? Because he don't know. They don't know. They don't know. I don't ask a question, and then when the person don't have the answer, I don't give them the answer. Or if they say they got the answer, I ask them for the answer. And if they don't give it to me, then I give it to them. He ain't gonna never get an answer because they ain't got it, baby.
This to the test, sir. We're not doing it.
This is what we're talking about. We're talking about
JP. I came up here to support.
In simplest terms, we're talking about going north. As we're talking about north, somebody out the blue talking about why we going south. That's the problem. Every time.
Who mentioned anything about north? Listen, ladies, you're gonna have to close your eyes. Listen, it don't matter what these niggas look like. I I knew that long time ago. Me and light skinned dude didn't do well because they always seem to be like the dumbest, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because women had them gassed up to where they felt like they didn't have to do nothing. They just had to be, And I like intelligent men. You know what I'm saying? This conversation would have been a great conversation if they just would have known what the hell they was talking about. But we got to also be clear. I did not tell them that they didn't know what they was talking about until they told me. I didn't know what I was talking about. They think they got me in a trick bag. And really, they are so off. Like the first thing they said is that Black people freed themselves. So I guess our government didn't come and went from plantation to plantation to release off of plantations, huh? Oh, not to mention, I think tonight or maybe last night they mentioned Juneteenth. You know why Juneteenth is so big? Oh, because by the time, slavery had already ended, and they was doing their rounds, the federal government, And by the time they got to Texas, which was where they went, right? By the time they got to Texas, it was I don't know, was it a year later? I know it was a while later. And they got to Texas and freed them slaves. Told them slaves that they had their freedom. So if we freed ourselves, well, sir, why did the federal government have to go and go from plantation to plantation, releasing these people, us, our people, our ancestors? Why? They lost as soon as Soon as Anchor Man said that dumb thing, like everybody should have known better. The black man, though, you are so thirsty and desperate for some type of win that you will even convince yourself of a lie. And let me tell you, yes, there's a lot of history that's been not shared. And if I were to be real with you, I mean, you gotta go talk to your peoples about that. You gotta go talk to your peoples about that. Because in the South, a lot of us knew our history. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was taught to us by us. It was shared. Your grandpappy, your grandmammy, they had that big Bible with all your family members, and in that was also stories. But that fell apart somewhere. My grandmother was always telling me stories. Telling me stories. I know about wars that I haven't even heard these people talk about. Happened right on my family property. Right there. It's crazy because I know some black people in Louisiana, right? And when I be trying to hit to them like, hey, because I don't want to be blunt, but then, when they say, hey, yeah, I didn't have my dad, I didn't have this, but I'm like, I could tell based on your skin tone that you probably got some Spanish in you. And I know people be thinking just because you're real dark that you strictly African, but no, listen, they have different types of skin tones, and this one person got a very dark but beautiful skin tone. It's kind of reddish. You can see the reddish tint in it, right? And I was I'm trying to say, hey, if you get a DNA test, you're gonna find that Spanish in you. You're gonna find that because they had dark skin Spanish people. And they wasn't claiming that they was from Africa. But people may have been from Africa, right? They may have had some people who settled in Spain and shit like that. Well, before they could have been a child of somebody, and things like that. But anyway, I ain't got no more to say. I'm gonna let this shit go. But I will be back tomorrow because I said if I go to sleep, I can wake up and I can participate with my boy Sharon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I love it over there. And I will be back tomorrow though. So we could go over the stream they doing tonight, so we could prove them to be liars, cause they swore up and down, baby, that I said some shit that I didn't say. Right? They swore up and down that I'm the one who started this and that. That dude P Smurf, and they, you know what I mean. And then they had a whole dude over there who was claiming that he knew because he was on the panel. I was like, no, dude. The only panel I was on with you, it wasn't over there. They was reviewing that panel. Let me see if I can show you what they was reviewing real quick. See? Uh-oh, commercial.
That goes to show you don't got no power.
Nigga, you ain't the arbiter of none of this shit.
Bro,
you can't say nothing.
You don't even know what you.
But he the one. You the one talking as if level.
You just got through saying that black men don't have no power. So how the hell would you judge what power is in the first place? Ain't your ass black?
No, what I'm saying is to JT. He talk as if he's on this top tier where he powerful.
You said black.
So this dude JT said that I was on a panel with him yesterday, and I was not. See, they dumb. I don't know if they get drunk. I don't know what they do. But this is a panel being reviewed from a panel, right? A panel is reviewing another panel. I wasn't even up there when they was reviewing the panel. And therefore, I wasn't on that panel. In fact, it looked like Beans is at the bottom. I see Angry Man. I don't know these other people. JP and I can't really see who that is. And at the top up there. And then look like that's BMU. Oh, BMU is reviewing the panel. So we reviewing a panel who's reviewing the panel. So that's 1, 2. Right now it's 3 panels I'm reviewing. That's crazy. Okay. Look like BMU was reviewing the panel. And then look like Trey was reviewing BMU's panel as he reviewed that panel. And now here I am over here reviewing Trey panel as he reviewed BMU channel, who is reviewing, and it looked like it might be Angry Man's panel. I'm not sure, to be honest. No, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that. Is AMU up there with them? I might be wrong, y'all. I think he is. I see 4 at the top, 3 at the bottom. Okay, he might be on that panel with them, y'all. I might be wrong about that, okay? Don't quote me. At first, it looked like he was to the side, but at the top up there, it says Black Man Unfiltered Network. I don't know, okay? I'm seeing everybody's name has a little orange thing by it. So it might be BMU channel. Okay. Anyway, so that's what they was talking about. We talking about JP and JT, and JP was going back and forth. I heard a little bit of it. I haven't heard it all, and I don't even care. But let me tell you, later on in the show, we had fun, right? We was having fun, nice conversations.
You ain't forged, nigga. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Construct. This is what I want you to do, nigga, today. This is what I want you to do. I want you.
Okay.
Okay, no, well, listen. Trey said, "Bomb, you could go. Let me read."
Yeah. Let her go back, y'all.
No, I said she can't. My apologies. Go ahead, my sister.
He said, "I can." He giving me
my nigga in the building. My nigga in the building. Yeah, we on y'all neck tonight. We got
what's going on, Mr. Fanny?
Bomb cherry.
What up? Yeah, y'all got some educated brothers up here tonight, baby.
Bomb cherry. And then we know you extra light skinned with hazel eyes. Don't start showing out and shit.
She Creole.
You know I'm
see that Creole.
I'm from Bermuda.
See, so we started having fun and everything. This is my problem with these men, right? Because I really, I don't know what's going on with my throat. I'm at the not sure. It seems like my voice is getting deeper. I'm hoarse. I've been that way for a couple of days now, about a week. Trying to think, I was not hollering. I don't get on these panels hollering, so I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, so the problem is, like, I can get up there and I can have discussions. I can also have fun with them, right? I joke around, try to lighten it up. But the thing is, it's hard, right? Because they so moody. These men are moody. All it takes is one word, and then all of a sudden they get real touchy. They act like women. And the women, we are even this sensitive. And even tonight, including tonight, to be exact, it was so difficult for me to get back to where we was on this panel that I'm showing now. Like, if you watch it, you'll see we was up there having fun, laughing. I even was telling them, like, yeah, y'all gotta lighten up. Like, what is going on? Why are y'all so touchy? Right? And then every once in a while they will take a little attack at women, right? They will say, well, you women are this. And I'm like, yeah, some of us can be strong. And all of us aren't for everybody. And so the men who can handle the strong women will. And the ones who won't, he won't. He'll get a different type of woman. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. But you got to understand, it's too complex for these men. It's too complex because, see, every woman needs to be the same for them, and they need to be the exact same way, so they don't have to do any work at all. So you would think when I say that there's complexity in women, right? When I say, well, we simple, you got different types of women, and you just choose the one that you like. But no, because they want them all. And they want them all, and they want us all to just listen to them, bow down, and just be theirs when they want, and only when they want us. Now, they can't handle us, they can't afford us, they can't take care of us. Like, they cannot do that. And that they don't like that part. But all they want is be able to come and get what they want when they want from you, no matter what that is. I'm not even joking. Like, they want to be able to, if they want you for sex, they want to be able to come and get sex for you. But let's say you're a woman like myself who cook, right? They want to come to me and get my biscuits and get my food and shit, right? So, and then they want to go to the other woman who might do hair and shit, right? He want to bring all his peoples and make her do their hair and shit. And then they got the other woman, who might do pedicures and shit. And then they got those of you who do massages and facials and shit. And they just want to go in line to each and every single one of us that they want to get something from us, but they're not willing to give nothing. Nothing. And so they are too simple. And even though essentially we are simple, you just got to find the person that's right for you. But that's too complex for them. Because they would have to do some work. They would have to do some studying, figuring out which women they like best. But see, the thing is, they don't like none of us. For real. They only like what we can give them. Yeah, I'm not sure why I've been hoarse for a while. I feel kind of thirsty too. I haven't been drinking as much neither. That might be it. Might be but I noticed that yeah, I noticed that earlier in the week, maybe this weekend, when I speak, it's real deep. Yeah, I'm gonna give it till this weekend, the end of the weekend, and if it's still, I'll call the doctor because I hear it. Yeah. But I do want to go try to. I know I'm not going to sleep, but I do have to go. I'm gonna shake up this wine because one of my wines wasn't acting right, and and now it looked like they're acting right. One of them's pretty much done. I could clear it up and bottle that sucker, man. And it's only been like 2 weeks. I think I did it on the 8th. No, on the 7th. 7th. What's the date? Hey Siri, what's the 8th? Oh, damn.
It's Friday, May 15th, 2026.
Yeah, 2 weeks, y'all. If I show it to you, it's not clear yet. It's still kind of doing this thing. Let me look.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not talking to you. I may show y'all tomorrow because I may it's still I guess I'll show it to y'all real quick. Let me see. I'll share my phone. I guess no, I share from the iPad. Show y'all where I have it sitting at for now. Little area that I have it sitting in, little closet. Give me a second. And then I'm gonna get off of here. But listen, I will be back tomorrow night. That's why I want to go to rest because I do want to go live tomorrow. Got a lot to talk about. Don't want to really talk about this anymore. So what her name? What is her name? Listen, I don't listen, little women who hate on other women by talking about her virginity when she's not there. I just want y'all to know y'all need to be very careful of slimy little ratchet women like that, okay? Yeah. Man, the hateration, what is the young lady who was the virgin? I don't want to mention her name. I can't even remember it right now anyway, right in a second, but I wouldn't mention her name anyway, because like, you know what I mean? Like that don't make no sense for to even be talking about. But I'm just saying that She was not there, and it was the women who was dragging you, honey. And the way they was doing it, though, it was almost like, yeah, but why y'all won't get with her? She's a virgin. She's this. And the way she want them to say something negative about you. Now, I don't know anything about you, okay? I know zero about you. I think I may have seen you before on cam, but I'm not sure. And it wouldn't matter because all the women are beautiful, right? But based on how she was setting that conversation up, it was all bad. And she wanted to know, like, well, why won't y'all date her? Why won't you be with her? Why? And she, and they didn't want to talk about you. They was like, nah, you know what I mean? But she was egging them on to say something. And I'm gonna tell you, honey, if you think that's your friend, baby, uh, you might want to get you a new set of friends, okay? Because I could tell you, baby, it'd be the ones you would think, okay, some women will think, oh, well, nah, she can't be hating on me. Why would she? She's nice looking. Nah, girl, look, they be having their own little issues, okay? They be having issues because they might be nice looking, but they still not worthy of a man. Nobody want them because it's something about them that's messed up. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all my little corner over here, y'all, in this closet. Let me open this closet up. How do I do this? Okay, so this one was done on 8, and if you look closely, you still see some bubbles, but if I go even closer, you'll see some minuscule action in there. Let me see if I can get it. You see it, the bubbles running up here? Okay. Then we have this one here. This hibiscus flower. It was done on the 8th. I was having problems with it, but I see the bubbling now. It was going slow. It's probably because where it's at. And this one is hibiscus flower on the 8th as well. Okay. But I didn't set it up until the 11th. And you see the bubbles? Let me see where you at. There you go. So it's doing what it needs to do now, but it wasn't doing. It was doing it real slow. And let me see if I see the activity. I just got her to act right today, and she's still acting real slow. Okay, and then I have this one here, and you'll see bubbles. See the bubbling? This one is in there. And so this is grapefruit. No. I'm sorry. This is blackberry. Blackberry. Is it blackberry? Yeah, blackberry, hibiscus, and then no. Blackberry, Welch's, Concord, hibiscus, and hibiscus. And that's what those are, okay? Yeah. Okay. Let me get out of this closet, baby. Let me get out of here. Okay. Oh, was I sharing? Oh, I wasn't even sharing. Wasn't even sharing. Wait a minute. Let me do it. Nah, I don't want to do it. Forget it, y'all. I'll show y'all tomorrow. So my house is cold. Okay. Um, it's cold because I'm always hot. So everybody else is wearing jackets in the house. And I'm not. But so it was acting a little slow. But one of them wasn't acting right. So I noticed, so I did a test on the yeast, and the yeast came in a kit, and the yeast is no good. Now I'm gonna go to Amazon and give them a bad review. Because there's several things that is just wrong, you know. The yeast, and the thing about a winemaking kit is I go big or go home with everything. When I make things is not is in threes, fours, or fives. So I got 4 big jug, 1 gallon. No, actually 3 1-gallon jugs of wine, and that bucket is a 2-gallon. 1 gallon of wine makes 500. Wait, is it? If I'm correct, what's the meal? It's like 500 and something meal of wine, whatever that bottle is. It makes 5 of those. Okay. Um, and the bucket is double that. So I gotta buy some bottles, but I'm not gonna bottle any of these in bottles, in actual alcohol bottles, for like 6 months. Okay. What I'm gonna do is the bucket is gonna be transferred into a another bottle or 2 bottles, and then I'm gonna always be making different wines, always having them, and I'm gonna keep them in those plastic bottles for 6 months. Then I'll bottle them. Some of them I may, if I decide to taste or give some away, I could go and then bottle it then. But it's a little finicky when you start messing around with the amount in the bottle, because you don't want to have a lot of head space at the top. So that's why you got to plan some of these things once you know. So um, the one I'm very interested in is that blueberry. What did I say it was? Did I say blackberry? It's blueberry. Which is that bucket. We're gonna definitely let that age out 6 months. Um, but I'm not gonna keep it in that bucket, which I could. I could keep it in that bucket for 6 months, but no, I wanna start another wine. I do have some more blueberries. I have some cherries, and yeah, blueberries and cherries. And there is a juice that I came across, and I want to try that. So I'm gonna be making wine all summer, and maybe around Christmas, um, I might auction off a couple of bottles. You know, I'll let y'all know about it. I have to do the work. I got to do the work to figure out how to transport it to people. It's definitely just gonna be the U.S. only, and let y'all see what they taste like. Okay, so I have my phone and my iPad here. I'm gone because I do look. The conversation today was hot and heavy. I didn't get to hear everything, but man, it was a little messy too, baby. And Tommy Sotomayor was over there. I saw like when I went to sleep. I don't think Tommy was up there. Yeah, he had to be because I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he was up there when I went to sleep. Did he get up there that early? Because I was there. Sharon was up there. He was talking, and then I went to sleep. I think I saw Tommy like when I took a bathroom break and it was on my TV, and then I just went back to sleep. I don't know, but I did see um our sister Venus over there. Now, I don't know if that was a bathroom break and I saw a little bit of that and then went back to sleep, or if that was the beginning. I can't remember. But I will review a little bit of it. Um, yeah. And then I saw somebody else was going live to um but I went back to sleep. Look, after Sharon ended the stream, I went back to sleep. I was like, oh my God. So I was up all last night and I didn't go to sleep until after Ron started his stream. So I'm gonna try to get some sleep tonight. Plus I was sewing though. I sewed. So I didn't do any sewing tonight though, because I'm planning a few things and I'm bejeweling a couple of things. So I might be going up and working. Did I bring this down here? I did. That's crazy. I didn't know I brought this. Let's charge it to my I do have to go and buy some things from Amazon. Okay. And I need to stop buying things. And I just became monetized, so I gotta figure that out. That's what I was doing when I until hubby came up, trying to figure out monetization. I really want the monetization to add a few things that I'm selling, right? But then I still have to put it on the website. I'm like, oh my God, it's just so much. Okay, I'm gone, and I'll see y'all later. And JT, listen, I don't know what you thought about battle. Listen, I'm never gonna use my money to be fighting no little niggas. We're not never doing that. Okay, we never doing no shit like that, especially on a page where they're disrespectful. They don't let you talk, and they lie and gaslight you. Okay, but I may end up being the nighttime competition. Like the idea that they play with me is ridiculous, baby. Because yeah, yeah, I don't think they're ready for that. So we're not gonna make no threats or nothing. We're just gonna do what we do. I'm gone, um, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. We made something. He made this stew, and it's terrible. I do not like it. Something has happened with my taste buds. Yeah, like these noodles was good just with a little butter on them and a little pepper. Little sprinkle of pepper and a little bit of butter. And it was good. And that stew though was salty. And I think it's my taste buds. Something is changing. Meat don't taste like meat anymore. I just don't think that's the same meat. Um, Yesterday hubby made the spaghetti and meatballs. And he must have was hungry. So he came down, and when I walked down, I smelled the meatballs. I was like, no, I didn't. I saw him eating it when I came downstairs. I was like, oh, you cook? And he said, yeah. I said, okay. So I come in the kitchen and I look in the pot, and I had to recook it, baby. Look, I cut up some onions, some bell peppers, uh, crushed some garlic, um, and sauteed them, put red wine, put some tomatoes in that sauce. By the time I was done, it was a complete different meal all together. Probably will take some sauce in a jug, empty it out, and throw the meatballs in there, right? I normally have some pre-cooked meatballs that I'll cook and put them in a bag. I think we used the last little bit, which I hate it because usually I have a whole pot filled with meatballs, but apparently it was just the last little bit that was left. It may have been like 50 meatballs in there, which don't sound like a lot, especially the way my kids eat meatballs. Anyway, so I put the red wine in there. I had to spice it up. I don't even know why he buy those spaghetti sauce. I see one up there now. Say Prego. Man, that stuff is worthless. Prego, ragu, all that shit is worthless. He wants to get just a plain can of tomato sauce, or I use tomato paste. I prefer paste, but I didn't have any paste yesterday. I only had sauce. So I prefer tomato paste, and then I go and jazz dash it up. Um, I don't know what that stuff is in that pre-go. That stuff is crap. Put a little touch of, I put the red wine in. I put a little bit of sugar, just a tad bit for the acidity, right, to bring the pH right for my body. And I put my little Cajun spices in. So I season my vegetables when I'm sauteing them. That's where I put my I put the wine there, and I also put the Cajun spices there. Put a little tiny dash of cayenne in it, and man, when it goes down, you taste the bam at the end, like as it hits the back of your tongue. That's when you kind of catch that little spice. So it's not overwhelming or anything. You people who like spicy things, I don't know what that's about. Y'all just like pain, because that's not good eating. You should be able to eat and you should be able to taste everything. You know what I mean? You should be able to taste the meat, everything that's in there. You should be able to have a note of something in there. And when I cook, baby, they be wanting to lick the bowls, okay? The sauce that's left in the bowl, they not keeping that there. That's gonna be lapped up. And usually what they do is take a piece of bread, either garlic bread, which I did not have any yesterday because I didn't have any parsley to make it. They take bread, and they will smush it in that juice and lap it all up and eat it. Because you don't let none of that juice go to waste, baby. Okay, you don't let none of that go. And then my noodles. So I had that. There's a little sauce in here now. Okay. That sauce is bam bam. Let me get out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow. What's today? It's 4 o'clock, so maybe. I don't even know.